Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's webinar presented by Newired. I am Rezvan, your host for this session. As we see more participants joining, let's take a moment to allow everyone to settle in. During this time, I encourage you to familiarize yourself with the GoToWebinar platform. Please note the questions box in the panel where you can submit any inquiries you may have, and we will address these questions at the end of the webinar. So, welcome again. I am delighted to have you all here. Without further ado, I will pass the word to our CEO, Stefano Rizzo. Stefano, the stage is yours.
Thank you, Rosie. Welcome, everybody, to this webinar today. Just show me that if you hear me okay, Rosie, with shaking your head. Thank you very much. I'm here today with Rezvan that made the introduction and with Katarzyna from our customer success department. So thank you for joining. As I said, I see that there is still some people entering in the room. The today webinar, for those that are familiar with Newired webinars, is a bit more data sharing, experience sharing from our side. We've been collecting feedback from our customers through the years, and we finally succeeded in putting together the data that we were collecting just to check whether how much saving is there by introducing digital adoption technologies inside their processes. Actually, of course, the digital adoption solution that they introduced is Newired, and we will cover different use cases in this presentation. Katarzyna, today with me, will show which are the features that are in our product very briefly. Actually, today is not a real demo of the product, but we will just quickly show which are the features that in different use cases are beneficial, just to understand better where the benefit come from. So, as I said, we will cover 3 different scenarios that most of times encompass different use cases, but we see that in our customers normally address come to Newired or decide to start a journey with digital adoption tools in 3 different let's say times when different events happen. Probably the widest one, the use case that covers most of the people coming and accessing digital adoption is in newly adopted solutions. Is actually when your company, a company, decides to go through a digital transformation initiative or to change a tool that they already have in place. Digital transformation, you know, might mean introducing a new CRM or introducing a new ERP or an HR management solution, or they want to automatize some processes, engineering processes, for example, that were previously managed differently. So this is normally when you have a new solution, you have a lot of people to onboard. We have a training use case. We have people, you need to empower your colleagues in using a technology. And so you consider, beside the traditional trainings, beside video tutorials, company decided to put digital adoption in place. Then there is another case, is when you have solutions that are in place. This normally the hook to get in touch with digital adoption comes from the support center of the company. company, from the help desk. The help desk that serves the users of some technology which can be in place sometimes since a pretty long time, but most of the times after 1-2 years that companies deployed a new solution, they see that the usage is pretty low and that there is a lot of interaction with the support center. So we consider this a pretty different use case because the reason is more or less the same, is to empower users, okay, like for newly adopted solutions. But the what you need to do normally is a bit different. Is not just to train from scratch, but is to assist during a change, to assist new people that are joining, or to assist people with new features, or to understand where the issues are in using a technology. Then we have the last case that we see sometimes in the market. This is the less frequent, honestly, but it's a very important place. It's especially when companies have open portals that connect to the people on the road. So imagine corporate internet banking solution, or in a government institution, a portal to help citizens to collect information from citizens. Not necessarily these solutions are too old, but very often these are custom applications that have been built by the company, which changes much slower over time. Because if you deploy a SaaS application, if you deploy a commercial product inside your organization, this product, the changes in this product, so the modernization of this product is maintained by your vendor. In case you have your own solution, so you have your custom built solution for your users, customers, or citizens, in this case, of course, it's on you maintaining the development. And so very often, especially when products get a bit older, let me say, these are much more complex to update. And so customers come to digital adoption to provide something new, something more, better guidance, better interaction, and also to have the ability to deploy content in a quick way without changing the underlying application. So we will focus on these three different scenarios, and we will keep in mind, especially for the first two scenarios, an average company. The average company that we consider is about 1,000, 1,500 employees, which is the average of the employees of our customers. And we will see which are the average benefits in each scenario. So let's start with newly adopted solutions. Before starting, just remind, if you have questions, there is the question tab in the GoToWebinar interface. Please put your questions there, and at the end of the presentation, we will have time for Q&A. So in this slide, we describe a bit the scenario about a newly adopted solution, which means onboarding users into a new technology that you are deploying. So what we see in average, we made some analysis and also found some data in Vistopedia, and also just looking into the publicly available information about average salaries globally, which is an important part of this thing. We see that without digital adoption, we consider that normally 35 work days are needed of employee time to have them proficient with a technology. So we consider, as I said, a medium big company, so 1,000, 1,500 employees, and we consider the deployment of a SaaS application or a system like a new CRM or a new ERP, let me say, a complex process-based application. So there are on average 35 work days needed to train the employee. And there is not just the time spent in trainings, of course, but also the time which is consumed in slower efficiency. On top of this, we have the training cost, which means, traditionally speaking, we deliver training through tutorials, through classes, e-learning licenses. So all in all, we see that in average, the training cost per employee is in the range of $1,000. And on top of this, this is much more difficult to calculate, we have the hidden support costs. So when employees start using a new application, they ask questions to their peers. So you imagine people sitting in the office, you know this case, before calling support or before asking for help, or they ask help to the employee which is sitting close to them. So the total cost that comes out of this calculation is that for newly adopted solutions, on average, we have that 15K per user is the cost of training on these technologies. Now I switch to Katarzyna. She will show you how to address a bunch of features in Newired that help, actually, that are used by our customers in onboarding on new solutions. Katarzyna, it's yours.
Okay. So I hope you can see the CRM application. This is an example of application where I would like to demonstrate how Newired solution looks from the end user perspective. So all the guidance is hidden here. Can you see this triangle? We call it overlay or launcher in the corner of the screen. And once click on this, you can see the launcher panel opens, and here we get the list of all the guidance which is prepared here for the end users. The main or basic ones are the journeys, which are the step-by-step navigation guides leading the users through the application. So now I will start this CRM overview journey, which is a kind of a product tour journey explaining to the new users of the application what is the application about, what are the different sections of the application for. So once I start this kind of journey, the first bubble, the first step appears to me. I can study, I can read all the information inside the step, because until I click the next button, I don't continue with the journey. Once I am done with reading all the instructions, then I can click the next button and I move next. I can get all the information which I need about the application from this journey. So now I will stop this one, and I will show you another part of our solution, which is called tips. And these are single bubbles, so not step-by-step guidance, but really single bubbles, useful tooltips for the users, bringing some kind of important or useful information. They can be shown when hovering the icon in the application, and user can see the bubble, can see that useful tooltip and study all the information inside. Or then we have also tips which are called bookmarks, and these are more like shortcuts navigating the users directly to the page of the application where the tooltip appears. So if I want to check this employee information tooltip, I click on the play button and I am navigated directly to the page where I can see the tooltip bubble. It's shown to me. And the third part of this launcher panel is called playbooks, which are the playlists. You can put as many journeys as you need, as you want inside the playbooks, and they are good for better managing, organizing the content, for the end users. For example, if you want them to complete some onboarding processes and you want your users to go really through some journeys one by one because they belong one to each other and they need to be completed in order to complete the whole onboarding processes, then you can create such kind of useful playlists of the journeys. So now I'm switching back to Stefano to continue with the presentation, please.
Thank you very much. So back to my slides. So by means of this kind of features, we asked our customers what kind of benefit do they have, and we saw that there is a global saving of roughly 50% on employee time for onboarding users. Most of our customers don't use just digital adoption for training on new applications. They use also traditional training or tutorials, or sometimes e-learning solutions. But putting in place digital adoption, they see a slight reduction in the time which is needed for an employee to be proficient. So we go down to 18 work days. Also, the training cost is heavily reduced because there is less interaction with people, and there is a need of much shorter training classes, let's say. And also hidden support costs. Just having the ability to have at hand, and you will see also in the next demo, the guiding content when you forget, when you need to perform a process or to click through an application to make something in an application, there is an important reduction in these hidden support costs. So overall, we see that the saving with or without, you've seen these blue bars, is the comparison of without digital adoption with the digital adoption in the three different areas here. We see that the total cost is reduced by more than 50%. Let's now go in the second area that we want to cover. You understood now which is the format of this presentation. So we were analyzing the cost without and with the digital adoption. We are considering here in place solutions the cost of a change. Change is a very generic definition in this case. Can be a change in the underlying application, so means that there are new features. Can be a change in the process in the underlying application. I mean that to make, for example, start and fire a process for a loan, to give a loan to a customer for a bank, there are changes in the process. Or the change can be in people. So you have new people that are getting in. So they come inside the company, not exactly when there is a training process for all employees in place, but they just jump into the company and need to use something. So, or can be the change in the role, which is very similar to the previous one. So what we see is that we have a different level of changes. It can be a small one, medium, or significant. So we make a, and in average, in the median cost across different retraining or change scenarios is in the range of 1,150 US without digital adoption per employee. How do this cost come from? So we consider this 150. We see that there is a 750, which is the direct cost of employee time, which is just 3 work days. So I mean, it's an average change in terms of understanding what is that about, and in terms of retraining, and in also in being proficient with the change, we calculate the 3 work day. There is also training cost, which is the biggest impact that we've been reported by our customers in support. So in case of a change, people start calling the support, start issuing tickets to the help desk, and start having interactions, specific interactions, where support say, okay, this is the new feature, you have to click there. Do you see the white icon on the right hand and the bottom, not the green one, the white one? Click on that, what happens, etc. So you can imagine all this interaction time, how much cost it has. And also, in this case, again, some hidden support cost. What we go now to second part of the demo from Katarzyna. She will show you a bunch of features in Newired that are beneficial in the case of change. Katarzyna, is yours.
Okay. So I will go back to the CRM application because now I would like to show you a little bit different type of journey, which is more like tutorial kind of journey, and which is really leading the user or navigating him where to click, what to exactly do in the application in order to complete some specific task independently. So for this purpose, I would like to show you now this how to create a new account journey. So let's imagine I am a new user in the application. I should create a new account here in this CRM application, and I have no idea how to do this. So I start this journey, and the steps are now really pointing and showing me where to click and what to do. So I should click here, create account. Now I can see that I should fill in all the mandatory fields. So I will write down something here and move next. I should click the save button now. So I will do so. And there is the last step, which is informing me that I have completed successfully my task. This was a very simple and short example, but with our solution, you can, of course, create much more complex journeys, having a lot of steps, pointing or navigating the user through many fields, what to fill in, what to do, where to click. So it might be much more complex. And now from the content creator perspective, I would like to show you how simple and intuitive it is to create such journeys. For this, we have an application which is called Newired Editor. And you can see there is completely the same application, the same browser window as the end user can see. But in the sidebar, we have a lot of functions how to create the content. And now I will show you. Sorry, I will just move this down, and I will show you how to create such a kind of journey which I was just presenting. So I just click on this plus button. I can put the name of the journey, save it, and now I can directly start creation of the first step. So if I want my users to click on some element on the screen, then I choose this type of step, which is called callout. And once I click on this, you can see the selector appears, and I can select any element, link, button, whatever on the screen where I want my users to click, for example. So now we can also change the position of the step. So first step is done. That's it. I created the first step, and I want my users to click here on this create button. I confirm, and the first step is done. Then I continue creation the second step. So now they should click on this create account. So I have the second step created. Click here, create account. So once the user do this, I can create now panel step, which is this side step, giving some instructions to the user. So fill in mandatory fields. That's it. And now I want my users to click on this save button. So I will create another callout. I will attach it to this save button. And that's it. So it's really simple and intuitive like this. You don't have to be programmers, or you don't really need to have any technical skills to be able to create, to build the content with this Newired editor. So now switching back to Stefano again.
As you saw in this presentation, actually, when a change happens, our customers are able to create the content to drive through the change. So it's not a matter of creating new training material and send it to people or invite them to a training. You can make directly a change inside the guiding content, and this is immediately available to all the people inside your organization. We have a very nice endorsement by our customers that say that this technology became a must-have because we were able, this is being testified by a big European utility company, and Newired is a must-have now because for every change in our process, in 2 clicks, we reach all the internal population inside the company. So we see that the benefit in retrainings is even bigger than with the newly adopted application. So without getting too much into detail, but the direct cost of employee time goes down of more than around 70%, 66% actually. And also training cost is reduced, is very, very reduced because you have just to create, as Katarzyna showed, 1-2 journeys to drive the change. So it's a very low cost. And also the hidden support costs go down dramatically. So overall, you have a more than 70% saving in case of in-place solution. Now let's go to the last one about legacy solutions and modernization. This is the more complex scenario from the analytical point of view. So actually, as I said in the beginning, this is related when you have a homemade portal or you have a solution which is in place since a pretty long time that is pretty difficult to modernize. Actually, talking about the savings here is pretty difficult. But the feedback that we've been collecting from our customers is related more to quality, related to the quality of what they deliver to their users and customers. Is more related about to the better impact, the better image that they give to their customers. So they say that one of the first things that happens is that having in place some guidance that can be somehow gamificating a bit the old application, gives a new modern look in guidance, adding dynamic content or whatever. So what they are looking, when they come to digital adoption, when they come to Newired, what they want is normally they want to improve the employee retention because everybody is used to have modern and sexy technologies in their hands today. So they want to have the same inside the company. And they want also to have a reduction in mistakes because these applications normally cover complex processes, legacy processes, or safety and security processes, ISO processes. So they want to have more process conformity. And they will also want to have people to go faster inside the application. And they wanted to be able to collect better the user feedback, so to listen from the users. This might happen by means of voluntary feedback that users provide, but also they want to analyze the behavior of their users, what they are doing, where they lost track, and where are the issues in using the application. So overall, in general, they want to boost the company reputation. So they are looking for more wider organizational benefits in this regard. So now, Katarina, back to you to show quickly a bunch of features that help in this scenario.
Sure. So now I will be sharing, sorry, not this one, our Newired portal, which is a management interface. And we have here one of the sections is called analytics, which is a strong reporting analytics tool. And we can find a lot of useful information and insights related to the end user behavior in the target application behavior, how they are managing with the journeys, with the playbooks, with all the guidance. So for example, here in this first journeys tab, we can see the complex summary numbers of how many users have been working with the Newired guidance, with the journeys, how many of them have been launched, how many journeys have been completed. We can even find here the information about the journey issues, which means if the users were not able to complete the journey, for example, they failed, they dropped off, then you can find details in this analytics section for each specific journey, why they failed, which step was failing for them, so you can adjust the content of the guidance, you can do whatever is needed to make the guidance work better. You can also find the information about the users who completed that specific journey. Also in the playbook section, there are a lot of useful information from the management perspective. For example, if you are a manager and you need to monitor how people from your team are doing with the journeys, if they completed all the onboarding processes. So you can go here in the playbook section and you can find all the information in the numbers, in the graphs, and you can also see in the details who has already completed the whole playbook, which employees, for example, are in the progress, and which of them didn't even started with the playbook yet. We have also this feedbacks section in the analytics tool, and feedbacks can be enabled, for example, for each step or at the end of the journey. And I will switch back for the moment to the browser, and I will show you how it looks. When there is feedback enabled for the journey, then users can click on it at the end of the journey, and they can provide the feedback either using only these kind of emoticons, or they can even put any comments here. And then when you go to the analytics section, you will see all the given feedbacks here in this section, and you can find the information how many positive, neutral, negative feedbacks the users gave, or you can even, in the details of each journey, you can also find the comments. If the users have inserted any notes, any comments as feedback, you will find it here. Then we have the activity feed section, which is a very complex one, and bringing complex overview of all the actions which were done or taken by the end users in the target application. So you can see, you can filter here, for example, if you want to see only the feedback submitted by the users, or you can even see all the actions, who completed the journey, who failed the journey, which playbook. So this is really a complex tool. And page views is the last section of the analytics tool, where you can find the precise information for each page, each URL of your application. You can see how many users have visited by how many views each page of your application, and you can even create the groups of favorites URLs, favorites pages. If you want to focus on some selected pages, you can put them in the favorite group, and you can monitor just the reporting data related only to those specific pages. So this is for the analytics tool, and you can filter all the reporting data based on the time period. So if you want to filter the data to see all the reporting numbers and graphs only for the last week, last month, last day, you can filter this way here. Then in this management interface in the portal, we have also translations. It is possible to translate the guidance content into more different languages. It's very simple. You can just download the whole content which is prepared in one language, translate it, and then upload back here. And when you publish it live to be visible to the end users, then it looks like this. When the users open the launcher in the target application, they if there are translations, they will be able to see these options to switching between different languages. So for example, now I want to switch to Italian, so I will change the language and I can play the journeys in Italian languages, and I will see the translated content of the journeys. And also here in the launcher panel, we have another kind of options, which is called user experience or user skill levels. So you can even adjust the content, the guidance content based on the user skill levels. So you can set, for example, visibility rules for some journeys if you want them to be visible in the launcher only for the newcomer users. It doesn't make sense, for example, for the advanced users to see such kind of journeys. So this is also possible to like tailor the guidance content based on the user experience. And what's another option here in the launcher panel? I will switch to English back, and I will show you that users can even open the journeys in the slideshow mode. So if they don't want to, for example, play the whole journey again, they can navigate through the screenshots and they can recall what was mentioned in each step or whatever. So this is another option which is really useful for the end users, this kind of slideshow. So I am done with my presentation, and now please, Stefano.
Thank you very much.
Continue.
Thank you very much, Katarzyna. So you can imagine how many use cases we can cover with these features. Imagine a legacy application, a legacy portal, something which is in the company since a while. The use cases that we have seen being deployed by our customers encompass a wide range of things. Imagine an old application that has no translation, which is in one single language. You can have easily the guiding content into different languages. So you, of course, you are not going to translate the underlying application, but if you have occasional foreigners coming to the application, you can guide them telling, or you want to make a wire transfer, you should put here the name of the recipient. Here you should put the amount in their own language. So you don't need to translate the underlying interface. Another use case, which is very frequent, is to help visually disabled people. So you know that there are some applications, especially in the government sector, that need to help also people that have issues with their eyes. And in this case, you can create bubbles with very evident text, big text guiding them. So you can maintain your old, let's say, fashioned application and help these people through the process. Or you can put new, let's say, features, even small features inside the application, like collecting feedback and whatsoever. So these are some of the use cases, but we wanted to give also some analytical data about what happens into legacy solutions by introducing digital adoption. So we have two cases. If you have internal legacy tools, so tools used by your colleagues, internal people, we see that there is a 40% reduction in interactions with internal support. So once you deploy a good digital adoption, good journeys, your internal help desk have a big relief in terms of number of interactions, and also the length of the interaction decreases a lot because people are guided more fast. So you can tell them, look, instead of telling them click here and there, you send the link to a journey and the Newired guides them through the steps. Into public applications, we saw that there is a notable 20% increase in application usage. So there is more engagement. We see in our analytics that before deploying some good guiding content, there is a level of adoption, a level of usage. With good guiding content, you increase 20%, you increase the usage by 20%. So now it's time for the final takeaways. It will be quick. I remind you, if you have questions, you can start putting them into the questions tab of GoToWebinar. As I said, we covered 3 different scenarios, newly adopted solutions. We saw that we have a reduction from around 15K to 7K, with a nice saving of 54% for a company, average company with 1,400 users, employees. And so this translates into a big saving by introducing digital adoption. In case of in-place solutions, we have that for every change, we have a nice reduction of more than 70% of the cost in retraining and in improved performance. In case of legacy solutions, we have an improved efficiency and much more user engagement. So, and even if analytical savings are complex to quantify, we see that there is a much better impression that the company gives to their users and customers. So that was all for this presentation today. I thank very much Katarzyna for her bright help in with the demo, and I thank Rezvan for hosting this webinar, and I open up to questions.
Okay. So let's see how many questions we have. Well, what is the source of the data you showed?
I can take this one, Rezvan, thank you. As I said in the beginning, we've been interviewing mostly our customers. So it's very important for us to have their feedback. And as most of our customers are inside make investments in new technologies, they need to show, they have departments inside the companies that need to show the improvement, the return of investment of what they adopt. So while adopting also digital adoption, they have, they make, let's say, forecast about how much they will save or what will be the impact of the change by introducing digital adoption. Then they track this information over time. So kindly, in an anonymous way, they were sharing with us their results, and we were aggregating this data into those that you have seen today. Other questions?
Thank you. What differentiates your solution from your competitors?
We need another webinar for this. Thank you for this question. It's a nice one. We have plenty of content on our website also that shows the key differentiators. Actually, I would say that in a nutshell, we have 2-3 key differentiators. The first one is that we've been developing Newired having enterprise business in mind. And this means increased security, increased safety, increased data protection, and total safety, especially in regulated environments. The second one, which is very parallel to the first one, is differentiates us in the fact that we are truly 100% code-free. So when Katarzyna was showing to you how to create the content, we don't need developers to create the content. We don't need experts in create the content. Your instructional designers can create the content. Our business as a company, we are a pure product company. we have 1-digit percentage of our revenues that comes from professional services. This means that our customers are proficient with our technology without quite any help from our side. And also the onboarding time for them, how to learn, how to deploy Newired inside their organization is a matter of hours. So normally in 3 hours, we are able to run a workshop and habilitate our users, our customers in using our technology. And last but not least, we have the best value for your money, which doesn't mean that we are free. There is a price tag into that, but the value that you have is the best in the market. So this is in a nutshell. But I would invite to check out our other webinars in the webinar page, or to book an interaction with our customer engagement team to go through into further details.
Okay. Well, is your solution responsive? How do the journeys look when the user is on a small screen like phone?
Katarzyna, would you like to take this one?
If you want to, you can answer.
Yeah, please.
Yes, our solution is working also on smaller screens, but it really has to be web-based applications. Our solution is not working on desktop applications or on mobile devices. We do not support mobile phones with our solution.
We don't support mobile apps. We work in the web browser nicely. Of course, the ability to hook the content, the journeys inside the elements of the page, it's a critical aspect. But yes, we are totally responsive, and according to different applications, this might need some more testing of the content that we deploy and release, or some more, let's say, customization of the content, because it depends on the level of responsiveness of the target application. You know, if the user interface changes dramatically and the items are no longer there where you hook the content, this might cause some issue. But the answer is, in a nutshell, is yes.
Okay. Well, is it possible to customize the design of deployed guidance?
Yes, it is possible. It is possible. The content creators can change the design, the colors of the guidance, of the deployed guidance. They can choose from a range of predefined templates, or even customize their own one, so that the design of the guidance suits really best to the colors and the design of the target application. So yes, this is possible.
Okay. I see one more question. How difficult is it to create a guidance content?
I think this was already answered by Stefano, that you really don't have to be programmers, or you don't need to understand the coding or have any special technical skills to be able to work with the editor. I was also presenting how easy it is to create the journey. So
as a next step, for those that are interested into this, I recommend to book an interaction with us, where Katarzyna or some other member of our customer success team can make a personalized demo, and also eventually organize a hands-on workshop so you can test it by yourself.
Great. Okay. So no more question. Well,
thank you everybody for attending again, and have a nice day.
Thank you all for being.
Thank you for joining. Bye.
Yeah. We greatly value your participation. Thank you. Stay connected. Goodbye.
Bye.